Hi, I'm Tracy Ensminger. Here is my personal demographics. This is my 7th year of teaching, and I teach first grade at Chase County Elementary School. This year I added 2 guinea pigs and 1 fish as my class pets. And to my own personal home, I've added 8 hens to my menagerie of animals at my house in the country. I live in Emporia, Kansas. I graduated from Emporia State University with a BSc, and I will be a 2023 graduate of Fort Hays with a Master in Educational Administration, God willing. Critical analysis of articles. School level governance. The following articles lean most heavily towards school level governance, although I felt all of the articles really fell into all of the themes, but I kind of tried to discern which ones more heavily lean towards one theme or the other. I will first address these issues. These articles, providing schools with greater autonomy over the use of those funds and accountability for results, says Chambers and others, 2010. This article details a program to distribute the authority to make financial decisions to more of a ground level principal perspective in districts. The basic premise of the program is to support students by moving more of the financial decisions to those that know the student needs better, and typically that is the principal. There were 3 districts participating in the program as of the printing of this article. The following articles also spoke of the advantages of school level governance. Empowering principals to design schools to best meet their students' unique needs. Chang, 2018. Sounding in with the same belief that principals know best how to allocate funds for their schools were the following articles. Principals know best what their schools need. Franks, 2021. And Who Has Control of Money in Schools? Kotaska, 2021. Key details in the articles, respectively, were that relationships that principals develop with students and families should have bearing on the trust to be given in their decisions over financial matters. And more districts are seeing that allowing the central office to make all financial decisions may not be the best approach. Response prompts for school level governance. Article analysis. Support of student achievement. Strategic school funding for results is a program that is data-driven so that the use of resources can be tracked for student success. Student-based budgeting is more reliant on the principal's input for disbursements. School-level governance allows for principals to have more autonomy over where the money goes, thereby allocating to areas that has best support for student success. When student-based budgeting is implemented and discretion is given to the principal as to where to disperse funds, it gives some schools more or less control over school operations and instruction based on student need and school performance as measured by the state and district. The information can be more data-driven and data-informed. SSFR promotes accountability by having leaders align transparent goals with that of the district and to gather data on student achievement that supports the allocation of funds. SBB is student-centered, and the funds put into the program follow the students based on need and reflects the diverse needs of the students, giving equity to access learning. Similarly, SFR gives a more equitable approach by using a pupil need-based strategy. As stated in Who Has Control of Money in Our Schools, Kotaska, schools that use site-based budgeting give principals leeway in deciding how funds are best allocated for equitable funding. Finally, SLG positions principals, that is student-level governing, positions principals as instructional leaders, which is critical to improving teaching and has been shown to raise student achievement by 2 to 7 months of learning in one school year. Laws, policies, and regulations. Implementing SBB will take a change in how others see school funding and governance. It would require substantial change from traditional command and control to a collaborative service center formula. SSFR is a joint initiative that at the core reforms policies established by the local board of education and aim at school governance, school funding, and includes needs-based funding. School-based management gives more autonomy to principals, but ultimately the board has discretion as to whether or not they would propose and approve the decision. My observations on school level governance, my district is fairly small and the board superintendents seem to work very closely, but I do not have much opportunity to observe the mechanics of collaboration within the high school. We're separate buildings. However, our superintendent is visible in the elementary nearly every day and works very closely with our principal and our secretary. Student and adult success and well-being. Education Week refers to the allocation of resources according to adequacy and equity, CHIN 2021. This article had several YouTube links that support the premise that student success and well-being depend on reliable formulas for funding that is distributed in a manner that supports student learning and creates a teaching environment where teachers can be more effective, such as low student-to-teacher ratios. Several studies show that student achievement and funding are linked. One report showed that increasing spending by 20% per year yielded a 25% higher income after graduation for the students. This statement from Growing Complexity of School Funding, Patterson, 2019, supports student success. The evidence is clear. More money for schools means better student outcomes, Barrett, 2018. This article gives a wealth of information on student success being directly related to funds schools receive. Response prompts for student and adult success and well-being. Each article points to the amount of funding of schools receive and how this supports student success, as well as how the adults in the school feel about how effective they are able to be when funds are allocated, and then it can be used to disperse around the school, for example, yielding in low teacher-to-student ratio, as well as other supports within the school, such as counselors and paras. When local school administrators are able to allocate funds through equitable resource plans, students and staff are better supported because the principal knows where the need is strongest. I'm new at my school, so I have no conclusions on whether or not our principal has much autonomy for funds disbursements. We do have a strong MTSS and phonics program that has good curriculum resources to support the programs. It seems as those would be decisions made at the school level, so possibly he does have more autonomy than maybe a smaller school would typically have. We do have an active teacher leader who is fantastic support, and she's very knowledgeable, and she's also part of that that pipeline to funds disbursement, I would assume. Data-informed decisions. New data will raise equity spending trade-offs and the link between money and school outcomes. Training school leaders to spend wisely, Rosa, 2019. This article speaks to how spending shifts will need to happen as data is used to support the new Every Student Succeeds Act. Use data to get smart on what their students need. Principals need to speak up for their students, but that means being hyper clear on what the numbers say, Rosa, 2021. Both of the above quotes were taken from articles written by M. Rosa and demonstrate how data can and should drive decisions which impact school funding and student and adult support. Although one article was written about financial management, school level spending data will make it possible for everyone to connect school spending to outcomes such as student success. By being data-driven and specific, principals can reveal things such as attendance, which can be a barrier to success. Data can show which students have left. Grade by grade, it can show academic success or areas where there is improvement needed. And principals can check their school by school spending and check to see school by school what the school spending data reveals to see how they compare in funding to other schools within the district. Using data to allocate school funds and track the success of students in regards to programs that have been funded. My observations at my school is that data is used to drive instruction, and I believe emotional and social support as well. Our school uses Equipping Minds, in which teachers use 30 minutes of school every day to implement a program that is research-based and proven to help cognitive development, and that is something that is strongly supported within our school. Equitable resources. Studies show providing principals with flexibility can better align spending with school priorities. Smith, 2019. School principals should have more say in how education funding is spent. A critical analysis of school principals' competence in financial management in Kenya. Financial management is the art and science of utilizing money to achieve economy and value of money available. Wagathunu and others, 2014. I felt that these articles best supported the theme of equitable resources and the impact that has. Response prompts for equitable resources. Although one article was written about financial management in Kenya, the ideas are universal. Allocation of funds to various school needs and usage of funds collected in schools. Individual schools are at liberty to deliberate on school needs and prioritize them and manage funds according to population of students, and all efforts support student success. The article from Weganithu does support a somewhat recurring theme in some articles in that school principals should have some type of finance training and even certification to best support the duties of dispersing and managing funds. My observations at my school are the funds are dispersed in an equitable manner that supports our students and staff. Although I've heard that we are down at least one para, I feel like the support we have at our school is great. Our Title I paras are great, and one is even a retired teacher, and our support for MTSS is also great. I believe that our principal sees the need for properly allocating funds. Critical analysis for finance laws and regulations. Let me move this over. Okay. This is problematic in part because research suggests that limiting school-level control over budget decisions creates inefficiencies. Smith, 2019. School principals, not formulas, should decide how to spend education dollars. This insight from financial management functions of the school principal, Shkurina, 2018. New legislation requirements have changed the scope of a principal's duties to include understanding the various roles involved in managing the finances of school operations. Banking staffing monitors teachers' pay. It is important all principals fully understand how this works. Educational Leaders, 2022. Response prompts on finance laws. Both articles outlined the financial responsibilities of financial management for a principal and how the duties come with great responsibility and the importance of understanding how financial knowledge and decisions can make or break a school. As I mentioned before, one slight recurring theme was that it was mentioned that one requirement of a principal that it comes to managing school funds should be that they should have some certification training on accounting to be able to do an effective job. Since I am new at the school, 3 months in, I really don't know how much autonomy our principal has over financing or budgeting, as I mentioned previously. But I do feel like our school is well funded and supported from what I've observed and experienced so far. Here are my references. It took several slides to get these all in. And here's my reflection. And how I will use this as a school leader, as well as any concerns that I had. Really, they're just regarding my own personal abilities. So thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to the next 8 weeks with all of you. Have a great 8 weeks.